Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online. G'day, I'm Fletch and welcome to the show as I bring you back to far north Queensland. Yes, the locals here in Atherton are doing it again. It's the car, bike and swap meet, and I'm about to bring a little bit of it to you in this week's Classic Restos. Well, around about an hour's drive up the gillies from Cairns is this beautiful place. It's home to rainforests and many spectacular sights, but once a year there's an event that the local motoring enthusiasts wait for. And of course such events need exposure and funding to run. Classic Restos is here thanks to the marvellous efforts of Don Blandford and the team at Atherton Auto Wreckers and Scripture Union Australia. Now they provide chaplain care, for example here at the Atherton High School for people in need. For more than 100 years, countless young lives have been positively and powerfully impacted through Scripture Unions and Generates ministries in Australia, including beach missions, camps, school chaplaincy, action-based learning, teaching and training. Now with access to a chaplain, kids, parents and teachers have an avenue for support if the need arises. Behind the scenes we have kids in need, and this lovely lady here, Chaplain Belinda, is going to tell us more. How are you, Belinda?
I'm well, thanks, Fletch.
I believe that you've got quite a following with the kids that you help.
Yes, there's quite a regular group of kids that I talk to and support over the school day. Support them to engage in learning, but also support them with their social and emotional needs.
What's the age bracket for these kids?
13 to 18-year-olds are at the high school, so
they're virtually adults, so they must become almost close friends.
Yeah, we do build quite a connection and they confide in me a lot as a support person, yeah.
Unfortunately, reflective of the times, so kids are struggling out there and it's okay to send them off to school, but some of them have got their problems behind the scenes and it's wonderful that you're here. How often a week are you here at Atherton?
I'm here 5 days a fortnight, so that's what I'm funded for. The school would love it full time, just because the need is so great. But yeah, it's going well.
And do you see the progression, like over time? Do you see the kids that come to you a distressed mess and then you see them go through and actually come out the other side and benefit from the talks that you have with them?
Yeah, I find some kids are just relieved to be able to tell an adult what they're going through, because they might get advice from their peers that isn't always great. So to be able to confide in an adult, I just think they're just relieved by that and often come out a lot better because of that.
I think it's wonderful. I really do. I think it's fantastic that our kids in high schools have got this type of support from whatever problems at home, anything that's bothering them, and they can break away from the classroom and confide in somebody like yourself. That's priceless.
Yes, it is. And because of the rise in social media and drug use and the dysfunction of the families, it's definitely more prevalent and it stops them from learning. So I'm able to pull them out of class and just get to the bottom of things so they can go ahead and learn.
And you know what, they'll go through high school, they'll come out the other side, it'll be 10 years later, they'll always remember you. They'll always say hi to you on the street. People like yourself won't be forgotten.
Right. Well, I hope I've played some part in their development, and it is a real privilege to be able to do that. Yeah.
keep up your fantastic work, Belinda. I think that is wonderful, and all the support here for the school and everything that you're doing. Well done.
Thank you, Fletch, and thank you for supporting the car show and chaplaincy.
That is my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Fletch.
Okay, now and on with the show. It doesn't matter where your passion lays here, be it bikes, cars, customs or trucks, this little event isn't so little anymore. And here we are. It's time for Margaret. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Fletch. And yourself?
Wonderfully well, thank you. You've got a gorgeous car here, a 1966 XP two-door Futura, and I know that it's got some very special meaning. Would you like to share that with us?
Well, I've lost both a daughter and my husband, and it has great memories. The registration is in honour of our daughter. She said she always wanted to own a Ferrari. Well, this starts with F, so that's close enough. So it's Ferrari, and it's finally come out of the shed after 5 years of memories, and I'm going to keep driving it.
How long has it been since your husband has passed?
5 years.
Been 5 years,
Yeah.
And so you've put it in for the restoration since that time? Or?
No, it was restored before then.
Yeah. And so it's out now. It's just taking you that long to get it out, right?
To get the courage to go out, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And how do you feel driving the car?
After the first 5 minutes, it was great. You know, you've got that power.
Yeah.
And the memories, and it's really good to get it out. And I'm glad I'm here.
You thought a lot of the car?
Yes, it was his passion.
Beautiful story, and I think that this tradition lives on with yourself, Margaret, and it's such a beautiful car as well. With the gorgeous white, the red interior. It's such a stylish car.
Thank you.
I think you're very fortunate to have such a beautiful example of this Futura.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it means a lot to you. And we're back to this passion thing again with our classic vehicles, whether it's bikes, trucks, it doesn't matter what the machinery is, they hold special meanings, and that's what it's all about. Margaret, thank you so much. Your first cab off the rank here today for an interview at the event. I hope you have a lovely day.
I will, yes.
Yeah? And you enjoy yourself here as much as you can, huh?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Margaret.
Like Dad, I've always been a Ford man. The Falcon Squire wagon was unloved in 1964, but turns heads today. The Americans call them woodies, but the panelling, it's just fiberglass and plastic. But it's a passion that Shannons understands, which is why my Fords are insured with Shannons. And now, so's the home.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
When it comes to cars, there are some brands that will remain with us forever, no matter what. The Holden was always Australia's own car, held high in the hearts of many. Those lines, that chrome, the stories around them, and the people that owned them. From the classic through to the final, you can still trust in genuine Holden and AC Delco parts, available through the Holden Certified Service Network. Who can pass up the opportunity to see a C7 Corvette? How you doing, Adam?
I'm well, Fletch.
Beautiful.
How are you?
Great, mate.
Good day.
Beautiful day. Are you enjoying yourself?
Always at these events. Always a good turnout.
Now, Adam, this C7, a brilliant example, the last of the front engine Corvette, right?
Correct.
Yep. How long have you had the car?
It was 11 months old. I got it out of Texas, Houston.
Yep. Horsepower?
Just under 750.
Wow, 750. Wow. It's and not a very heavy car either, right?
No. Carbon fibre, fiberglass, aluminium frame.
Yep.
Weighs a little bit more than your average Holden Barina.
And just goes a tad better as well.
It does go a little bit better than Holden Barina.
Yeah. We look at this interior. It's an incredible machine, and obviously now with the C8, brand
Very
new
nice.
Corvette now. It certainly runs deep. Chevy used that as their slogan for many years in the United States, about Chevy running deep with people, and that's been the case, I believe, with you as well.
Correct.
With having early memories of Corvettes.
Yes.
Yep.
In the very early 80s, maybe late 70s, my father's friend had a C3.
Yep.
and we used to go for runs in that, and that
Yeah.
was, I'm having one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
great.
See, not many kids can say that from mid-70s to have experienced Corvette Stingray, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it was.
how cool!
Yeah,
What
it was.
what a shape! They were on their own. There was no other car that really looked like a Corvette Stingray back in the day.
Everybody remembers the front guards.
Yeah,
If they don't
yeah.
know the name of the car, they say the one with the big guards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
And you know what? There's so much tradition there that's spilled over into other brands as well. I take Mazda with the little MX-5. When you sit in a little MX-5, through the windscreen, that's what you see. The tops of the guards.
Yep.
Very, very Corvette inspired. Describe the drivability of the vehicle.
You've got to have a lot of self-control. It is a very light, high horsepower vehicle.
Yep.
But just sensational to drive. Every time you jump in it, it's just a joy.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing 40 Ks or 100 Ks, it's just a joy.
Yeah. So Adam, I have to ask you, as much in love you are with the C7, are you going to do the upgrade for the C8?
I haven't looked at one closely. I would like to see one. It's possible. We are talking of two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hope there is a potential there.
Good on you, Adam. Thanks for bringing this beautiful C7 along to the Atherton Car, Bike and Swap Meet for 2022. And of course, for more information on these sensational vehicles, check them out at General Motors Special Vehicles. Thanks, Adam.
No worries, Fletch. Good to talk to you.
Cheers, mate. You too. I said earlier that the guy that organises this event, he doesn't like to be filmed. Well, I got a hold of him. He's the crookest looking Dan Aykroyd around, but he's given it a red hot go. Donnie Blandford from Atherton Auto Wreckers. How are you, mate?
Good, Fletch. Thank you for being here. We love having you here.
That's a lovely thing to say. And the numbers this year, it's we keep saying each year is the highest numbers, right?
Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger. I don't know, probably have over 400 cars there today.
Lots of pre-show anxiety to any event organiser leading up to the big day. You're feeling better now? The day's unravelling?
Always happier when the day's underway. Always have a panic attack, think no one's going to come. But anyway, and they all come. So.
I mentioned earlier too, Don, it's the variants. That's what is so good about these types of shows. All shows are good, but so much stuff just seems to come out of the sheds, come out of the barns, come out of the woodwork, so to speak.
Yeah, no, we have a real variety here. And it's good to see we've even got tractors, semis, every car you could ever imagine, from every walk, Japanese, whatever. It's great to see.
We also had the opportunity of catching up with the lovely Belinda too and hearing a little bit about what she does, helping kids and even teachers in need. So there's always a nice side to these car events.
Yeah, look, it's great being able to support the chaplains, because 59% of the money to support them is community funded. We're grateful for the money we get from the government, but it's always limited. And it's just great for have someone in the school that all their job is care for the people in that school, the children, the parents and the teachers. That's all their job is.
And also too, Donnie, I know you're under the radar with a lot of stuff you do, but you've got a big heart as well, and I know you're the first to help people around this area too with your business, and that's a good thing too. That's what I love about these car events in the regional towns, the regional areas of Australia. Very parochial, lots of local support, and hey, that's what it's all about. So good on you, Don. Well done, mate, for 2022.
And thank you for coming and supporting us, Fletch. We love you here. And Fletch has been a mate for a long time, and we love having him up here. And he's the one that got me started on trips to America. He's the guy. Thanks, Fletch. You're a good mate.
No, that's lovely, Don. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that. The reason I'm here is Don's a hell of a cook. He's a good cook. So, that's partly the reason why I'm here as well. So, no, thank you, Don. Keep up your great work.
Thank you, Fletch. Thanks for being here.
Time for two wheels on today's show. How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, good. Fletch, yourself?
Good, mate. Good. This is pretty glamorous behind us. What's the go?
It's a Royal Enfield that I bought in all bits and pieces and assembled it. Jack Erskine, who was a popular fisherman here and had a business in Cairns, and he still has one shop. It was sort of his dream to build something like this, and I finished it for him.
It looks sensational, and it's so different. I can't believe the bike is such a late model bike, but it's themed so early, looking so great.
Yeah, like it's 2005, but it looks like it's 1960. Yeah, back to the old style. And
so, what was the go, Chris? It was in pieces, and how long did it take you to put back together?
Only about 2 months after studying all the bits and pieces. It's got all Hitchcock high performance gear in the engine, and yeah, it goes well.
Just as well the plating was already done, because that would have taken longer than 2 months just to get that done.
Yes, I can't find any receipts for the plating, and I don't know how much it cost.
It looks sensational. Engine size, Chris, what's going on there?
It's a 500, but because of the high performance gear in it, it takes it up to about a 565. Yeah.
Good on you, Chris. That's wonderful. Now, last year, 2021, here at Atherton, we had some bikes interviewed as well. So the bike fraternity comes along every year here too. So that's great.
Great to see, yeah, it is.
Okay, mate, thank you very much. Love the bike. Tremendous effort there. Attention to detail. Your presentation here on the trailer today looks absolutely stunning, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Moving through, as we do, time now for 1975 HJ. How are you, Dazza?
Good, thank you very much, Fletch. Good to meet you, mate. Welcome to North Queensland.
Oh, thank you. That's very lovely of you. Thank you, mate.
Right, all good.
Now, the reason we're picking on you is because I know that this car has some very special meaning, and I'd like you to share that with us.
Not a problem, mate. This is my dear old dad's 1975 HJ Holden Premier sedan. He bought it brand new off the showroom floor. This was my 21st birthday present, and I've had it for 33 years. So you'll work out how old I am now, don't you?
You've done a few things to it. What's happening under the bonnet?
Well, things go bump and bang in the middle of the night, and 22 years ago, they were phasing out the leaded fuel, so we had to go fuel injection. So I put a 1989 C4 Corvette engine in it.
Mate, that would have sharpened up the old girl.
Yeah, well, Dad wasn't too impressed. Oh, you stupid boy, what are you doing?
So what nationality was your dad?
Swiss.
A picture of your dad on the front seat. He's with you everywhere you go, right?
Everywhere I go, mate. That photo comes to me to every car show. That photo sits in the hallway, which looks straight out to the garage, so he can still see the car. That's the way it is. That's the way it stays.
I love these stories. This car must have meant a lot to your dad.
It means a lot to me too, especially have you standing next to it. He always used to watch his show. He's been gone for a few years now, but yeah, what a day to have you standing next to my dad's car, mate. Very sentimental.
Good on you, mate. All right. Gets me every time. Thank you, Dazza, and thanks for coming along and making yourself known to me, hey?
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, as I always say, you have a safe day.
Keep the dream alive with your dad's car, and you're enjoying your Holden, and it's what it's all about.
Mate. That's what it's all about. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Daz. Now, we'll go without saying that he's definitely a Holden legend, and because of that history with your father and where you go back with this HJ, I'm going to get you to give me your address, and we're going to send a little something to you in the mail, okay?
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is from General Motors Australia. There's a whole range of really cool Holden merchandise awaiting you when you check out gmsvstore.com.au.
Every weekend around Australia, motoring enthusiasts get together to share their passion for cars and bikes. It's a passion that brings us together. All sorts of people, all sorts of cars and bikes. From the classics of today to the classics of tomorrow. At Shannons, we understand enthusiasts. So when it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
They may not be making the classic Holden anymore, but the legacy lives on. You can still have a Holden certified service using genuine Holden and AC Delco quality parts at over 180 centres across Australia. Go to holden.com.au to find your nearest centre. Book your Holden in, maintain the pride. And of course, if you own a classic bike, a classic car or a classic truck, it just has to be insured with these guys. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646. And keep in mind too that the Shannons Club awaits you. For more information, visit shannons.com.au. Well, this is it. The event just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. The Atherton 2022 Car, Bike and Swap Meet. That's where people meet and talk about their vehicles from out on the street. And because I'm so well known, they just keep on having me back.
Never heard of him.
Don't know who he is, mate. Don't know who he is.
There's a handful of events that I do each year. that are close to my heart, and the Atherton job is definitely one of them. Don Blanford, what do we say about Donny? Salt of the earth type guy, and he said some really nice things to me this year, heartfelt stuff. Makes you really appreciate how much they look forward to me going there every year, which just means a lot. And you know, attributing to the show, and look, my attitude, keeping it real. Look, if Classic Restos is responsible for 10 extra cars through the gate from year to year, I'm happy with that. A record number of cars this year, entrants and people through the gates. And each year that I do the show, I'm saying this. So that's just showing positive growth, which is just fantastic. Look, Don does the show with a handful of people, and he does a marvellous job. And I say this often about event organisers, because they're right under the pump, you know, it takes 12 months to organise these shows, and Donny does a wonderful job year in and year out. This year was my 4th return to cover and bring some of the Atherton car, bike and swap meet to you, and I'm proud to be able to say that. It's also their 10th year, so they've been going now for a decade, so it's hats off to Donny and the team there at Atherton. And the amount of cars, machinery, tractors, trucks that come out of the woodwork and turn up at Don's event, it's actually now been said that it could go down as the largest show in the Northern Hemisphere, or certainly north of Rockhampton. So it's certainly something for them all to be very proud of up there on the Atherton tablelands. And I'll be looking forward to a return for the next one of the Atherton car, bike and swap meet. Here we have some Simba beef and pea along with a Vegemite sandwich. It's nice to see that they put lunch on again for me this year. We've had a lovely Falcon Futura on the show, we've had a Holden, and now it's time for Ma Mopar. How you doing, Barry?
Good, thanks, Fletch. How are you, mate?
Great, mate, great. I see you here in the paddock.
Yeah, it's loving it too, mate.
You are. What a stunning example of a VH and E38, a big tank Charger, 1971. When was it restored, Barry?
About 1995 they restored it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's holding up. It's holding up well.
It is, mate. I think it lives in a shed more than it goes on the road, to tell you the truth, so yeah.
No slouch, these things. 265, we've got the triple Webbers going on there. Well, the E49 was 305 horsepower stock back in the day in 71 from the factory.
That's right.
And I love the deletes. Like, you look around the engine bay and there's no blower motor for the, well, there's no fan in the car, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
So Barry, let's start from the back and move towards the front. Big tank car. If you haven't seen one of these before, around about 160 litre fuel tank in the back.
Correct, yeah.
All designed obviously to reduce fuel stops while racing.
Correct.
What a feature to have in the car.
It's great, mate, yeah, except these days she's a bit exy, 35 gallons is a lot to fill, But it's got either side, so we pull up and, stick two hoses in it and watch it go.
Well, mate, the big tank, you'll do cans up to here and run around and back to cans again, no problem whatsoever.
Probably, mate, yeah. I only put 70 litres in it yesterday afternoon, so that'll do the job for us.
That's okay. You can't go worrying about fuel economy with classic cars. If you do, go and buy yourself a Prius.
Correct, mate.
Now, how does the car drive, Barry?
Excellent, mate. Like today, it'd come off the factory floor.
Yeah.
You know what that is, eh?
It is a beautiful car. There is no doubt about this. When we look at the colour scheme back in the early 70s, the blacked out bonnet, RT insignia there on the bonnet as well. To buy a car from the dealership designed to put onto the racetrack. When we look back now, what an incredible era.
It was, mate, it was, back in the 70s and the late 60s, the Munros, the Valiants, the Fords, all those.
Yep, and a beautiful interior to go with it too. The Tombstone high back bucket seats, they're beautiful in these cars.
Correct, I love them, mate, It's like all the young fellas these days, they want to drive from the back seat. Well, you can do it in these old classics.
And of course you've got the 4-speed there, the Borgie single rail doing a fine job there.
We swapped out the 3-speed for the 4-speed, give it a few more legs,
Yes.
But
just another ratio to play with.
That's correct.
Yeah. Barry, it's great that you brought it along. It's great to see it here. It hasn't been trailered, it's been driven. Absolutely stunning in the paddock. Barry, thanks again for bringing it along, mate.
No worries, Fletch. Appreciate it.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Mate.
And I feel sorry for him too, because it's a big tank Charger, he's got no room in the boot. So he carries all his bags and his underpants and everything in the car with him. Fletchy comes along, wants to film inside the car, he's got to put everything out on the grass. Well, that's it for Atherton 2022, the car, bike and swap meet done and dusted. And talk about a toe in the water. Just some of how this event has evolved over the years. I hope you liked it. Until next week, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ClassicRestosTV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au.
Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online.